Hey everybody, this is Ray coming at you from Pontiac Ray's garage, literally. I'm sitting in my 67 Firebird right now. I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of go over the car, maybe do like a walkthrough, give you some pictures, explain what the deal is with the car. It's a street car. It's a car that I've had since I was in high school. Very special car to me. I've used it in a lot of things from street driving, daily driving to work and back, drag race. It's been a TJ and back. Done a lot of things with this car, so it's special. Uh, Needs a lot of work. As you can tell, it's missing a headliner. It's also missing carpet, but it's got it where it counts, and that's the driveline. So I want to take this opportunity to explain the whole car, the point of the car, what I plan to do with the car, what it's done. We'll start with the engine. The engine is a Pontiac 350 that is a motor I purchased for about 200 bucks. I got it because it had a nice set of heads on it, and I set it aside for a while. The reason it's in the car is because I yanked the 461 Pontiac that was in there, my stroker motor, because it had a smoking problem. That motor sat for many years, so it had a ring problem because of sitting. So I yanked it. I decided to put the little 350 in there because I tried to sell the 350 and no one would buy it because it's one of those Pontiac engines that no one wants. So I put on an engine stand one day, decided, hey, this might be a little motor that I can at least drive around with, have some fun with. So I decided to put ARP rod bolts in it because Pontiac rods are weak. Rod bolts really help out longevity. And I put a new oil pump on it. I checked the ring gap and put it all back together. So it's essentially a stock bottom end with rod bolts from ARP. That's about it. It's got a good like Mylodon pan on it. Nothing special. It's not anything trick, road race, or anything like that. What I did do to the top end is I got the top end that is destined for the 461. That includes Kaufman round port heads are on there. And it has a ported Torker 1 manifold from Edelbrock. It's about 45 years old. It's a intake manifold I bought off one of the Pontiac Facebook groups. Looked pretty good. The port size matched the cylinder head, so I did it. Along with that, I put a Comp Cams 236, 242, 575, 594 lift cams. It's a pretty good size cam. And the overall compression with the aluminum heads on there works out to exactly 10 to 1. It's on pump gas. I use 91 octane in it. Loves it. Doesn't ping, doesn't do anything. I take it to car shows. I actually took it to Irwindale, but I don't have a time on it because I had a ignition wiring problem where it would run okay and then quit at upper RPM. I found out later that I mixed up like the tack signal wire and the trigger wire. So for all of you that don't know, an MSD will run and make the box function off the tack signal wire. I learned that the hard way because it ran okay except in upper RPM. So anyway, it's connected to a Turbo 400. Now this Turbo 400 was basically a stock 400. It started out life as a stock 400, but I blew it up behind the 461. This 400 is probably 20 years old. However, I had a buddy recently, about last 2.5 years ago, when I was racing it at Irwindale with a big motor. We were racing each other, and I actually blew the trans right after the burnout. I lost the race against him. My friend is a guy that owns Champion Transmission in Thousand Oaks. He's a great guy. His name is Jeff. He drag races at Irwindale a lot. He gave me a deal I couldn't refuse. Didn't charge me labor. Just I paid for the parts, about $700 worth of parts, and he put that bad boy together. It's not anything crazy. It'll handle like 600 horsepower. No trans brake or anything like that. Standard valve body, forward valve body. It does have a manual valve body, but it's still forward pattern. Pretty nice piece. Not super high end, but it works, and I saw immediate gains putting it back behind the 461. So now that the 350 is in front of it, I'm eager to see what it'll do. It's got a it's got a 3500 stall converter from TCI. Just because the cam's pretty aggressive, so I figured, hey, I need everything I can to help out my weak 308 rear gear in my GM 8.5-inch 10 bolt that I put in there many years ago. So yeah, it's got a 1981 Trans Am GM 8.5-inch ring gear 10 bolt. Again, nothing special. I did upgrade the axles to Mosier street axles. You know, something that any normal muscle car guy does. And it's got longer studs, so that way I'm legal for running slicks on it. So the driveline's pretty basic. Got a nice drive shaft in there, forged yoke, solid U-joints, just for reliability. It's actually probably a little too heavy of a drive shaft, but, you know, maybe that'll be an upgrade one day. Aside from that, the suspension is stock control arms, stock coil springs. They have been cut in the front 2 inches to get the ride height. I hope you guys like it. It's 2 inches lower than stock. I get compliments on that. The rear leaf springs are the original mono leafs from this car, 1967, so they're 50 years old. They have air shocks in the back that are 15 years old, and I think they're blown. So shocks are nothing special. The front shocks are an old set of Bilstein that I got when I worked at AutoZone about 15 years ago. They were a customer return, and I saw the name Bilstein, and they were more or less the height, so I popped them in there. Totally wrong valving for the car. I think they were from an S10 or something like that. But they're there. They function. I've raced it, street driven it like that for many years, so it is what it is. Maybe that'll be an upgrade point later on. The other thing that the car has that's kind of cool is the fiberglass hood. It's from Unlimited Products, and I matched that to a fiberglass rear deck lid and spoiler. So if you look at my car, try to put on pictures of the outside of the car, it has a fiberglass trunk lid with a little spoiler in the back that 67, 68 Camaros and Firebirds are known for. And that's all the fiberglass it has. It has steel front fenders, steel doors, steel rear quarters, all the glass in there. I can roll the windows up and down. They're a little fussy when it's cold outside, but, you know, they get stuck up against the rubber like any other 50-year-old muscle car. And the interior has a little stereo, got 6x9s in the back, nothing special. I don't have carpet, don't have a headliner. So yeah, I'm probably light by 40 pounds in that department. I did weigh the car many years ago, probably over 10 years ago at a truck scale. So I don't know, you know, how much you can put into that, but it weighed at 3,100 pounds. So, you know, it is what it is. With me in it, it's 3,300 pounds. So I've got factory door panels, back seat, no roll bar. The only other thing I got different is 1980s Mazda RX-7 seats. They were a little lighter than the original seats I pulled out. And I pulled out the original seats, honestly, guys, because they're heavy and mine were tore up. The guy that I bought the car from had ugly, ugly seat covers. They were like sheepskin seat covers. So within a year or two, I got rid of the seat covers, and I found these RX-7 seats. So anyway, that's kind of the update on the car. I'm running way too big of a carburetor on there. It's a FST 850. It's running a little fat. I can tell by the plug reading. Hopefully I can get it on the dyno soon, or a couple of passes at the track so I can read the plugs. It runs good. And I'm happy with it. This is my 67. It's the one that's been on the channel. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment. Please like, subscribe. You guys know the deal. You guys have been pretty good. Hopefully my content will be at a much better pace this year. Got some fun things up ahead. I think you guys will enjoy it.